Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel where we dive deep into true crime stories that leave us speechless. Today, we're talking about a case that's not just heartbreaking but also groundbreaking. It's the story of Judy Malinowski, a woman who fought for justice even after her tragic death. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Judy Malinowski was not just another name in the headlines. She was a vibrant woman full of life and love. A doting mother to her children, Judy had a smile that could light up a room. Her beauty wasn't just skin deep, it was a reflection of her kind soul, a quality that even won her a beauty pageant in her younger years. She had dreams, aspirations, and a promising future that seemed almost within reach. But life has its twists and turns, and Judy's path took a devastating detour when she crossed paths with Michael Slager. It was a meeting that would irrevocably alter the course of her life. What initially seemed like love quickly spiraled into a dark abyss of addiction and abuse. Judy found herself trapped in a toxic cycle, a far cry from the life she had once envisioned for herself. The radiant smile that once graced her face became a rare sight, overshadowed by the pain and fear that became her constant companions. It's a heartbreaking reality that many face but few talk about. The insidious nature of abusive relationships and how they can consume even the strongest of souls. Judy's story is a painful reminder that sometimes the most destructive elements in our lives come disguised as love. In this video, we'll delve deeper into Judy's life, her struggles, and the tragic events that unfolded. It's a story that needs to be told, not just as a cautionary tale but as a tribute to Judy, a loving mother, a beautiful soul, and a victim of circumstances beyond her control. August 2nd, 2015. Is a date that will forever be etched in the minds of those who knew and loved Judy Malinowski. It was on this fateful day that a heated argument between Judy and Michael Slager took a turn so horrific, it defies comprehension. In a fit of rage, Michael committed an act so cruel, so inhumane, that it left everyone who heard about it speechless with horror. He doused Judy in gasoline and, with a flick of a lighter, set her ablaze. The flames engulfed her body, causing unimaginable pain and suffering. Judy was left with burns covering over 90% of her body. Her skin, once the canvas of her beauty and identity, was now a roadmap of agony. The medical professionals who attended to her were shocked. They had never seen anything like it. The consensus was grim. Judy was not expected to survive. But what the doctors didn't account for was Judy's indomitable spirit. Despite the unbearable pain and the long odds, she fought. She fought for her life, for her children, and for justice. It's a level of resilience that most of us can't even fathom, a testament to the strength of her character and the depth of her will to live. This day was not just a tragic moment, it was a cataclysmic event that shattered the lives of Judy's family and friends. It also ignited a wave of outrage and disbelief across the community and the nation. How could something like this happen? What kind of person could commit such a heinous act? As we continue to explore this harrowing story, we'll seek to understand not just the events of that terrible day, but also the underlying factors that led to it. Because to truly honor Judy's memory, we must strive to prevent such tragedies from ever happening again. In the wake of that horrifying day, Judy found herself in a battle for survival, a battle that would take her through the doors of operating rooms more than 50 times. Each surgery was a grueling ordeal, a desperate attempt to repair the extensive damage inflicted upon her body. The pain was excruciating, both physically and emotionally, but Judy's spirit remained unbroken. She clung to life with a tenacity that inspired everyone around her, from family members to medical professionals. While Judy was fighting this uphill battle, the wheels of justice were turning, albeit at a pace that many found frustratingly slow. Michael Slager was initially charged with aggravated arson and felonious assault. Noticeably absent was the charge of attempted murder, a point of contention that would ignite public debate. Eventually, he was sentenced to 11 years in prison, a punishment that struck many as woefully inadequate for the gravity of his crime. The community was outraged. How could the legal system seemingly fail to recognize the monstrous nature of Michael's act? Petitions were circulated, protests were organized, and social media campaigns were launched, all aimed at rectifying what was widely perceived as a miscarriage of justice. The sentence was not just a slap on the wrist for Michael, it was a slap in the face for Judy, her family, and for every victim of domestic abuse. It raised uncomfortable questions about the value society places on the lives of women subjected to domestic violence. As we delve deeper into this story, we'll examine the societal and legal factors that contributed to this perceived injustice, because understanding the aftermath is crucial for comprehending the full scope of this tragedy and for advocating for change. Judy Malinowski was not just a survivor, she was a warrior, confined to a hospital bed. Her body covered in bandages, she made a decision that would reverberate through the halls of justice. She chose to record a deposition, detailing the horror she had endured, knowing that she might not live long enough to testify in court. This was not just a fight for her life, it was a fight for justice, a fight to ensure that no one else would suffer as she had. Her deposition was groundbreaking. It marked the first time in Ohio's legal history that a victim's testimony would be used in their own murder trial. Judy knew the importance of her words, the weight they carried, and the precedent they would set. She spoke with a courage that defied her physical condition, a courage that would turn her into a symbol of resilience and a beacon of hope for countless others. When Judy eventually succumbed to her injuries, her fight didn't die with her. The deposition lived on, a haunting but vital piece of evidence. Michael Slager was subsequently charged with murder, his previous 11-year sentence now a moot point in the face of a life-altering accusation. Judy's voice echoed from beyond the grave, advocating not just for her own justice, but for every victim of domestic violence who felt unheard, who felt trapped, who felt alone. Her deposition was more than just a record of events. It was a call to action, a plea for societal change, a legacy written in courage and sealed with indomitable will. Judy Malinowski's legacy is one that transcends her own life and touches the very fabric of the legal system. Her story, her fight, and her indomitable spirit inspired something monumental: Judy's Law. This isn't just another piece of legislation. It's a testament to her impact, a lasting change sparked by her unimaginable suffering. Signed into law in Ohio the very same week as her funeral, Judy's Law is a game-changer in the realm of criminal justice. It specifically targets those who use accelerants like gasoline to maim or disfigure their victims, adding up to 6 years to their prison sentences. This law serves as a stern warning to would-be offenders, but more importantly, it serves as a beacon of hope for victims. Imagine the families who have been torn apart by such heinous acts, the lives that have been irrevocably altered. Now, there's a law that stands up for them, that says, "We hear you, we see you, and we will not let your suffering be in vain." The timing of the law's signing, coinciding with Judy's funeral, was almost poetic. As friends and family gathered to say their final goodbyes, lawmakers were putting pen to paper, ensuring that Judy's fight would continue long after her physical presence had left this world. In a society where laws often come too late, Judy's Law stands as a poignant example of timely justice. It's a bittersweet victory, of course. No law can bring Judy back or undo the suffering she endured. But in its own way, Judy's Law brings a form of closure, a sense that her struggle, her story, her life meant something profound. Judy Malinowski may have been laid to rest, but Judy's Law ensures that her spirit marches on, a guardian angel for those who need it most. The courtroom was a crucible of tension, a place where justice would be meted out for Judy Malinowski. Michael Slager, the man who had turned her life into a living nightmare, sat there, perhaps contemplating the weight of his actions for the first time. But this trial was unlike any other. It had a voice that reached from beyond the grave, Judy's voice. Judy had recorded a deposition before her passing, a groundbreaking move that marked the first time in Ohio's legal history that a victim would testify in their own murder trial posthumously. Her words, her pain, her hopes, they all resonated in that courtroom, filling the space with an almost palpable sense of her presence. In a twist that could only be described as poetic justice, Michael Slager was sentenced to life in prison. But here's where Judy's extraordinary character shines through yet again. She had explicitly stated that she did not want him to receive the death penalty. Why? Because she hoped that he would find religion and perhaps, in some way, seek redemption while behind bars. It's a complex emotional tapestry, isn't it? On one hand, you have a woman who suffered unimaginably, whose life was snuffed out in the most horrific way. On the other hand, you have the same woman showing a level of compassion and foresight that's almost saintly. She's not just thinking of justice for herself, she's thinking of the soul of the man who ruined her life. This trial wasn't just a legal proceeding. It was a testament to Judy's enduring spirit, her innate goodness, and her ability to hope for better even for those who had done her the worst harm. It's a chapter in her story that leaves us awestruck, pondering the depths of human strength, compassion, and the complex facets of justice. Judy's story is so compelling, so heart-wrenching, that it was immortalized in a documentary called The Fire That Took Her. This isn't just a film, it's a tribute, a legacy, and a cautionary tale all rolled into one. It delves deep into Judy's life, her indomitable spirit, her fight for justice, and the ripple effect she had on the legal system. If you're captivated by this story, if you're questioning the world we live in, then this documentary is essential viewing. It's not just a recounting of events, it's a mirror held up to society, asking us to confront the uncomfortable truths we often look away from. Judy's life and the tragedy that befell her leave us grappling with unsettling questions. Questions that don't just pertain to her, but to society at large. How did the system fail her so catastrophically? What can we do to better address the pervasive issues of domestic abuse and addiction that are all too common in many lives? Judy's story is a siren call, a wake-up call that demands we do better, not just for her, but for every individual who might be suffering in silence. Wow, what a journey we've been on together. Judy's story is one that shakes us to our core, but it's stories like these that remind us of the work that needs to be done in the world. If you've been moved, angered, or inspired by what you've heard today, then let's channel that energy into something positive. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on more true crime stories that need to be told. Together, let's strive to make the world a better, safer place for everyone. Until next time, stay safe and keep fighting the good fight.